Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today, I would like to talk about the Chrisland School saga. You remember the story of what happened to some kids that went to Dubai to participate in one competition. I would like to take a look at it. The first thing I would like to talk about is that, please, parents, this is the 21st century. Get used to the internet. Get used to the internet. Try to find out what is Facebook. What do they do in YouTube? What happens in Snapchat? What of Like? What of Instagram? What of Twitter? Don't ignore those things. If you have Netflix at home, what type of movies do your kids watch? Do you regulate the underage kids, the type of movies they watch? Or you just open the Netflix for them to watch whatever they like? Do you restrict what they watch on YouTube? If they have internet on their phone or at home, do you use the parental restriction mode in some of those connections? Get used to it. Know how it works. Don't tell me you're too busy. I'm a CEO. I'm an executive. These are for my kids. This internet age, the modern age. I'm an old man. I can't get involved. You know the result? One day you will get disgraced. Like that kid disgraced the family. You have to get used to it. You have to learn the basics. Know what is going on. I'm too rich, I'm too busy. Are you richer than Elon Musk? He's on the social media. Are you richer than Otedola, or more busy than Otedola? He's on the social media. Are you more busy than Donald Trump or Dangote or the rest of them? Please learn the basics so that you can know what your kids are doing and you can know when they are going out of track. So at least you do something, you do a little thing, no matter how little. It could, at the end of the day, help the kid come back to her senses or his senses, as the case may be. So another thing I want to talk about is the failure of parenting in Nigeria. We don't blame the school only. The school has some blames. Parenting, we, the parents, we have a lot of blames, and the society as a whole has a lot of blames. You know, some of those schools are run like businesses. They don't care much about your kids. They care about the money you pay. They care about the status. So you, the parents, you must start from home to educate your kids, to expose them to certain things, to tell them the pros and cons of so many things. You don't expect the kids to do, the school to do all the job. The parents from home, you have to do most of the job, because they say charity starts at home. How much quality time do you spend with your kids? Are you always chasing money around, money here, money there, money there? If you are, you have to think again. Money is not everything. You have to create a balance. There should be a balance. Then the third thing I want to talk about is an expensive school does not translate to intelligent kids. It does not translate to kids with good character. I remember when I was in UNEC. UNEC is University of Nigeria Enugu campus. I came in contact with those kids that went to those expensive schools. I beat them hands down. Many of them in most of the courses we did. Despite the fact that I was working and doing my MBA at the same time. But I still beat them. These guys were big guys. They were living in school 24/7, driving good cars. I don't want to mention names, but I beat them. And I went to a community school. Many of us can attest to that. We know the truth in that. Many of us knows that what I'm saying is true. So, because you send your kids to the most expensive schools does not mean they will come out and hit the stars. It is not true. What school did Buhari attend, for example? What school did Obasanjo attend, for example? These guys reached the pinnacle of their careers. You might say, yeah, well, quota system or whatever you call it. But there were so many people that went into that same army with all these guys, and even with the quota system, they couldn't get to anywhere. So you should not remove there is some intelligence in them upon the fact that they didn't go to such schools. Did Wole Soyinka go to those schools? What about Chinua Achebe? What about Chimamanda Adichie? Okay, let me give a clear example. All of us remember Goodluck Jonathan, the ex-president of Nigeria. Did he go to such schools? Myself, I'm an example. So I'm not saying such schools are not good, but don't be desperate to send your kids there, because it might not always turn out to be good. Don't use because of ego, because of pride. Oh, my child attends this XYZ school. It's only for the big guys. Many people send their kids there not because of what they are going to learn, but because of ego. They want to show off. This is where my kids go. They pay millions of naira every term. They pay millions of naira every year. That is not what we should be thinking about. So, pride goes before a fall, you know. So, some of those schools are populated by kids from rich homes. Kids that their parents do not have time to teach them anything. They sublet the raising of their kids to the housemates. You can imagine what the housemates will teach these kids. They sublet the raising of the kids to society, to the peer groups, to their friends. And who are those friends? You know, I have to be honest with you here. Most kids that are sent to those schools, or many of them, or some of them, if you like, you can put it any way you like, but I tell you, their parents sourced the money they pay through corruption. Through corruption. I want to repeat, some of those schools. And their parents don't have time for the kids, to train the kids. At the end of the day, they push them to the school and leave all the responsibility for the teacher in the schools and the housemasters and everything to teach their kids what they should be taught at home. And if your kid is from a good home and you taught your kids a lot, and your kid go to such schools and mingle with such kids, it's easy to learn bad habits. And at the end of the day, the society suffers. Because an aggregation of all the nuclear families, all the small families, make up the larger society. So, conclusively, I will want to recommend that missionary schools are still the best. And when I talk about missionary schools, I have to bring out the Catholic schools. The government should look at giving more freedom to strong religious bodies to be in charge of our schools. They have their own problems anyway, but you know, they are better, far better, because it is one scandal after the other. If it is not this type of Dubai scandal, there is another one, the teacher did that, or sometimes they do some crazy things, some things in that school that's unacceptable, in such schools that are unacceptable. So many unacceptable things happen in such schools, and is in the media every day, every day, every day. So, brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, let us summarize. Parents, get used to the social media. Why? Because it will enable you monitor your kids. Not fully monitoring, but to communicate with them. When they are talking, you will understand what they are saying. Know the basics at least. For example, it was just 3 weeks ago, I started this YouTube channel. And when I started it, I downloaded Twitter, I downloaded Snapchat, I downloaded Instagram, I downloaded and many, many more. Because I want to get used to the internet. I want to know what's going on. Whether we like it or not, this is the 21st century. And there's nothing we can do about it. Then the second thing, and my summary, I'm summarizing now, is that good schools do not necessarily translate to good and intelligent children. There is more to raising a good child, an intelligent child, that will benefit society and will not bring disgrace to your family than sending them to a good school. We have to get involved. We should not sublet raising our kids to the schools. We should not sublet raising our kids to our housemates, no matter how rich, no matter how busy you think you are. So that is my own personal opinion on this Chrisland saga. Thank you very much and have a beautiful day. Stick with Okago TV, where the action is.